So, here we are, 5th Sunday of Lent. And the theme for this week is trying something new. Now, it's always been traditional in MCC. For the period of Lent, we don't give things up. So we don't stop eating chocolate. We don't stop going out and drinking. But we take on new things. So, the thing about taking on new things is it can be scary. So trying something new often drags us out of our comfort zones. Now in the reading, we have to think, well, is this old stuff or is this new stuff? I mean, after all, it's a very old story. But if we look at it more closely, there are a number of new things in it. After all, this is, as far as I'm aware, the first time Jesus ever rose anyone from the dead, or called anyone back to life. But not only that, we often hear about him and his disciples moving forward, travelling from village to village, spreading the word as far as they can. And you hear it makes a change and they go back. They go back to where they've been previously. And as Thomas says, well, you know, people tried to stone you. But then he says, let's go with him and die. Let's go and die with him. Now, I don't know about you, if I was there, I would have said, oh, hang on a moment. Yeah, I don't mind going back, but going back and dying? You sure that's such a good idea? So this is one of the main times that he is actually questioned by his disciples. However, they still go back. And also this is a time when Jesus vocalises talking to God. Where he actually announces in front of people, God, thank you for listening to me. And sort of trying to build up the fact that he's asked for something extraordinary. And perhaps he was a bit nervous. I mean, it's quite a big deal to, raise someone from the dead for the first time, or any time, in fact. So perhaps he felt like vocalising it calmed him a bit. And then also Jesus cried in front of everybody, burst into tears. And that's not something we hear a lot about either. But he showed vulnerability. But in vulnerability there is often great strength. And this leads on into him calling Lazarus out from the tomb. Now, I don't know about you, but with all the zombie films around, my first thought would be, because this is something no one has ever seen before. Definitely outside of the comfort zone. But the thing here is that Jesus was on a path. And despite that, when it was necessary, he turned back. He retraced his steps. Even, as we hear from the disciples, being faced with stoning. Because he was asked by a friend to go back. And that's quite huge. I mean, you don't often hear in the Bible about people that Jesus is friendly with, and then them asking favours from him. So this leads us into, what are we doing in Lent? I mean, Lent is given as a preparation for Easter, for Jesus rises from the tomb. And we all celebrate and we eat lots of chocolate and get fat as pigs and have a good time. But how are we preparing for that? Are we just coasting? Are we just going on, same old, day in, day out, week in, week out? Just waiting for Easter to come round. What have we done, or what have we tried to do? Is there anything new that we could do, or that we could take up? Now, some of you know recently we tried running a drop-in at Dorset Gardens. And without a shadow of a doubt, it didn't work out. I mean, we helped 2 or 3 people. But on the whole, it was a bit of a failure. Does that matter? No, it doesn't, because we stepped out of our comfort zone and we tried something new, something we felt would be useful. And it was useful for a couple of people. But So we have to go back again and think, well, what new can we try? What can we put in that would help our communities? And as I said before, that's what Lent is for MCC generally. It's a kick in the bum to try something new. To give us a chance to try wild and wacky ideas. To give us a push to step outside our comfort zones and find new ways to approach people, new ways to talk to people, new ways to help people. So for this Lent, because this week we are talking about trying something new, I want to ask us all to think about trying some new things. New church. We've already discussed doing street church. But really what I'm talking about is a new way of being church, which is in fact a bit like Jesus in the story, is a step back on our path, back to what church was originally for people, for the community, not what it's become now. Going back to a time when church was just people of faith getting together and doing what needed to be done. Try thinking about new ideas on how to be that church in our community, how to make a difference, how to make an impact outside of these four walls. Think about trying new tasks, new roles, developing ourselves spiritually. Take on new things. Look for new opportunities. But most importantly, not to be afraid to fail, to have to step back, to turn back, to retrace our steps and start again. In everything you try to do, there's a lesson, there's experience, there's knowledge. And even if you have to go back time and time again and keep changing things to try to do whatever your target is, every part of that journey is useful. Almost everything Jesus did was radically new. But as we heard in the story, even he went back sometimes, when it was necessary, when it was needed. So what we really need to do is try and be Jesus here and now, in this time, in this place. Let's go back to being his sort of church. A church that wasn't based in bricks and mortar. A church that was based in community. In doing so, we will no doubt step outside our comfort zones and have to try new things. Because it is not easy to be that sort of church. It is much easier to be a church that meets in a building on a Sunday, that sings and prays together, and things tick along quite nicely. It's much harder to be church when you're outside of this place, when you're out in the community, when you're in the street, when you're talking to people in the supermarket, or when you're just wandering through town, down by the beach. But that is the sort of church that's needed now. So, in closing, I just want to say that in MCC we're called during Lent to try something new. So what I suggest we do is we try being church. The original sort of